Take a load off, grab a seat. Pull up a chair, prop up your feet. That's fine by me. Fine by me. Yeah. It's podcast time.
Two.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
By me.
Woo! How's it going?
I'm gonna start wearing my hair like this.
Oh, you kind of look like a Cocker Spaniel.
That's what I was fixing to say. I look like a doggy.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen that episode of I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson where he has the fucking dog hair?
I'm sure I have.
It's like black poodle hair, and like, hey, your hair looks like that dog's. He's like, what?
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That was so silly.
My son is obsessed with Tim Robinson now.
Dude, I follow him on like everything possible.
He's so funny.
I'm obsessed with Tires coming out on Netflix tomorrow.
I know.
Be
Hey,
good.
it already got renewed for another season before it even
Hell yeah.
started.
Fantastic.
Man, I bet so many people have watched that trailer that they're like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be like I don't know what? I don't even know what
They like making money, and Shane Gillis is fire right now. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know. Was it Josh? Was it you, or it might have been somebody else about Kill Tony and Netflix?
a possible Netflix deal has been teased a little bit.
So I'll say I looked into it a little bit more, and that's about where I've found it as well. Is there's just kind of internet whispers about maybe Kill Tony getting a Netflix deal.
Apparently, they had tried it once before, and it just didn't ever come to fruition. So maybe now, since it's so popular, who knows? I think it'll be really watered down, though.
But bureaucrats got in the way.
Yeah, I know. I would be surprised if Rogan doesn't tell Tony to like not do that.
Yeah, I think it would ruin his brand. People will call him a sellout and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
He's like the voice of like the.
If they mess with the show at all, then Tony will pull out.
Yeah.
But if they let him, if they let him have no leash, then I mean you got to do it.
Yeah,
I think money, now, dude.
Well, it's really just been within like the last couple years that Netflix now does like live events. Like we've seen them do these roasts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think last year they started doing that stuff, starting with like some kind of golf thing. I think I remember seeing some kind of. I think Burt Kreischer hosted it. Like it was like in Las Vegas before the F1 race last year.
One of the first one I remember was that Chris Rock's special
Tambourine. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that was the one I remember. I could be wrong that there might have been something else before that, but I just remember thinking like live on Netflix, like that's not what this is,
Pretty cool though.
Weird seeing live whenever everything on Netflix is just on demand or whatever.
I did think that week that they had the comedy festival, they had a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was long. I mean that 2 weeks, I feel like that's all I heard about it. 2 weeks of the Netflix is a joke. It felt like it lasted a month.
Yeah. I know, and it's
what
so
else
strange
is new?
how they have to do comedy festivals, because I don't know if how like if you do a music festival, you just have like multiple stages.
Yeah,
outside.
like 1 day or 2 days.
Yeah, but for comedy festivals, it's like even Nashville's is like 2 weeks long.
Well, they got a bunch of theaters. They do different, like small venues, and
they do Zanies and the Ryman, T-Pack sometimes, and then Bridgestone for the really big guys.
Live podcasts.
Actually, Zanies news. Zanies has another stage now. It's called the Lab at Zanies.
I seen that. Where's it at down there?
I guess it's somebody. Last time I went to Zanies was me and Nick, and we got there late, so I didn't pay attention to shit other than getting to our seats or whatever. But somebody I was talking to recently said that the last time they were there, like a couple months ago, they noticed there was a lot of construction. So maybe there's more room in that building that I'm aware of.
I saw is there like an Autumn Oaks or Autumn Hills in Nashville, like around Nashville?
I don't know what that is.
Because it said like the lab at Autumn Oaks or the lab at Autumn Hills or something. I didn't know where that was.
I didn't see that.
Autumn Hills might be like a shopping center or something.
Could be like
small...
Indian Lake or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a nice place.
Yeah, whenever I put it on Facebook, it has the oh, that's cool. So it is just like a smaller little venue. I don't. I wish I could show this. I'll try. To figure, it's got the same address as Zany's, so I'm guessing, or 2019.
Oh, the lab is a new room at Zany's.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's a small room for people to work out the material in.
Like an open mic kind of deal.
It looks pretty
There's
neat.
going to be more open mics, and there's going to be smaller comedians that are allowed to get, because Zany's gotten so big that, I mean, smaller comedians don't have a chance of hardly getting on anymore.
Right. That time you looked at it for me, what, you had to send in like a 5-minute video or some shit and get picked or some shit?
Yeah, you had to send them in like a 5-minute audition tape, like of a set. I called them and I was like, "Hey, my name's Nick Cook. I'm an agent. I'm representing my man Josh Harrington. What's it going to take to get him on stage?"
That's right.
Here you go.
That's cool.
Y'all see this?
Yeah, that's fucking dope. We need to get down there.
I think Kim Congdon is playing there. They're gonna
That
have.
looks
They're gonna have
good. I'm
grilled
hungry.
food there instead of just chicken fingers.
Hell yeah. Or sandwiches, like a hamburger.
Yeah.
or popcorn.
The Hamburglar?
No, it's Jessie Jetski Johnson. She's the one
okay.
I saw was going to be there.
Jetski.
She's on Kill Tony a lot.
Is she going to bring her trumpet?
I don't know. You'd have to ask.
Your mom's
Jessie Jetski Johnson on the horns.
Your mom's a trumpet. Anyway,
Trumper.
Second case of bird flu reported in Michigan. They were really trying to pump this thing up like it was going to be something big, but I'm just looking at the news app here. Bird flu. That's for pussies.
What's this about 23andMe getting sold to China, Nick?
Oh, brother, let me tell you about 23.
Oh, brother, come on, brother.
All right, so they've been talking about this, I guess, for a couple of years, and their stock has been tanking. So they're doing so bad that they decided to have a full-blown door closing
Closeout sale.
Yeah, a closeout sale. Now they're not out of business yet. They're not out of business yet, but they did make a $10 billion deal with the CCP, China Communist Party.
China.
Yeah.
And they sold all of their DNA data. But I've got a little something.
You ain't got mines.
I've got a little something prepared. This is the segue into what are they doing in there? DNA in the Great Wall of China, the 23andMe controversy. All right, this week we're diving into a scandal that's got everyone spitting mad. See, it's because you got to spit into the tube.
Right.
23andMe is in hot water for allegedly selling private DNA information to China. We're unraveling the juicy details behind 23andMe's latest blunder. Apparently, our genetic secrets are traveling more than we did during the pandemic. That's right. Just when you thought your biggest DNA worry was finding out that you're 1/32nd Sasquatch, now you have to wonder if your genetic code is being studied in Beijing. Thanks, 23andMe. For those out of the loop, 23andMe is a popular genetic testing company. You send them a spit sample, and then they send you a detailed report about your ancestry, health risk, and apparently a one-way ticket to your DNA to China. Turns out 23andMe has been sharing data with foreign research firms. You think they were just interested in genealogy, but nope. It's like they decided to write a DNA travel blog without asking for permission. The company claims it's all in the name of advancing science, but we're pretty sure people didn't expect their genetic material to go on an exchange program. Right. Imagine getting a call. Hi, we're from China. We discovered you're predisposed to male pattern baldness and erectile dysfunction. How do you feel about that? In some articles that claim they are mostly interested in Jewish and Chinese DNA material, which makes you think, are the Orthodox Jews paying Chinese research companies to find genetic loopholes for curing their ancestral deformities?
Probably.
And who wants to live any extra days in this godforsaken life anyway?
I was like,
that's a conversation for another time.
Go
ahead, Wes.
I think that it was China that what like kind of first utilized the CRISPR technology, which is the ability to uh change DNA. So
Like
and
in
they
the
ended up
womb, like fetuses.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like against like world law to do that right now, but apparently they accidentally made somebody with a very high IQ that's like really tall and like and Asian. So it's like an obvious like,
Whoopsie daisy.
yeah.
Oops.
But I don't remember. I vaguely remember reading about that like last year or 2 years ago. I know Rogan used to bring it up all the time
Oh,
about
I remember that.
how China or whoever it was accidentally made some really smart kids. But yeah, go on. That's all I
I think they're
want.
just trying to
Well,
figure out how to be the best like us.
What's that?
yeah,
I think
they're
they're just trying to
trying.
figure out how to be the best like us Americans.
Like
Yeah.
the whites and the blacks, just genetically superior, obviously.
100%.
Listen, it's the plot twist no one saw coming. First, they sell you the dream of discovering your Viking ancestry, and the next thing you know, your DNA is partying on the other side of the globe. So, what's the big deal? Well, privacy for starters. People assumed their data would be kept confidential, not turned into a bestseller in the world of genetic research. Legal legal experts are stepping in, and class action lawsuits are cropping up faster than you can say mitochondrial DNA. Companies like Smith and Smith Law are leading the charge. They're the superheroes of this genetic saga, fighting to keep our chromosomes cozy at home. It's a reminder to always read the fine print, or better yet, have a lawyer read it for you, because nothing says fun like legalese, right?
Right.
So, what should you do if you've used 23andMe? First, try not to panic. Second, keep an eye on the news. And third, maybe think twice before sending your spit to any more companies. Unless, of course, you're cool with your DNA becoming a globetrotter. In that case, bon voyage to your chromosomes. Stay tuned, folks, as we continue to break down the twists and turns of this DNA drama. Until next time, remember, your genetic secrets are your own, unless someone offers you 10% off to find out what your spit says.
10%.
This episode was sponsored by Smith and Smith Law Firm, defending your genes since 2023.
Hell yeah.
And that has been What Are They Doing in There?
Can you
We don't
imagine?
ever know what they're really doing. You know,
Yeah, what China wants with all of our DNA data or whatever.
That's just what they want us to know.
they're
you
trying
know?
to clone Americans.
Yep.
Well, that
Next thing you know, their eyes are going to be 25% bigger, and
well, thinking about it, if they've got all this data about Americans, they can actually see like what our biggest weaknesses are, as
Right,
far
like
as,
health
what,
stuff, like sicknesses.
yeah, like viruses and whatnot. And they already, I mean, they made COVID over there, so
100%. That's been proven,
I
right?
was gonna say that's proven now that it was a lab leak over there. So
Wuhan.
yeah, so I mean,
Remember
that
Trump was
give
calling
them,
it the Kong flu?
yeah,
That's awesome.
Kung flu,
Kung
Or the
flu.
Wuhan virus.
yeah. But yeah,
Hey,
I
he
mean
was right about that.
they
Nobody got mad when they called it the Spanish flu, you know?
Right.
yeah, that was before the internet, and no, not enough people could care about it though.
Can
Yeah.
you imagine trying to run for politician now as much as like there is on the internet? Like you can't get away with no lies or nothing.
No,
I always thought it would be fun to run for a fake office and put some signs around town, like Nick Cook, Simpson County dog catcher.
Or surveyor. You can be surveyor.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. You
I
just
always
that
write
mean-
my name in on that one.
you can put like
Does-
Nick Cook or like Duke of the Square or something like
Yeah,
Ooh,
that.
Duke of Gold City.
Yeah,
The
there you
Duke of
go.
Leon.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fancy
do
when you
something
say it like
that.
that.
Signs everywhere. People be so confused. They'd be like, "When are we voting on this? Who's running against them?"
Yeah. I thought about my grandfather.
Me, I put signs up, I'd run against him.
Yeah. My grandfather has been the constable for like 10 years. And I thought it would be really funny if I did run against him and I just ran a smear campaign.
Dude, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
This son of a bitch used to whoop my ass.
Yeah.
He used to beat the shit out of me.
You really want to use car salesmen out here running these streets, fighting crime?
What's the constable do?
Man, he just rides around, and he bought a retired canine unit
That
from
black
Texas.
Tahoe.
Yeah, it's a black Tahoe with still got the canine cages in the back.
It's a very intimidating looking vehicle.
Yeah, and it says he got constable stickers to put on the side of it. It's got the lights, the sirens, everything. He just rides around in that, and little old ladies call him, "Ron, you just make us feel so safe when you're out here. We feel like we're protected." And then
Is he
he's
packed?
been in one high speed chase, and then if he sees something fishy going on, he'll just call it in. Yeah,
High speed chase.
83 years old.
Is he packing heat or no?
Oh, he's been packing heat since 1939.
He's been packing heat since before he was law enforcement.
Yeah.
We all think about Iranian president getting X'd.
Yeah, getting killed.
Yeah.
Matter of time, dude. Matter of time before shit like that starts happening everywhere.
Franz Ferdinand, baby.
I was gonna say a lot of people think the Mossad did it or CIA did it or something.
I don't think it just happened. I mean, the helicopters really don't really go down and like kill people. Like
they
often.
said it was bad weather or whatever, but I don't know if you looked at that.
But ask
Twitter
Kobe
post.
Bryant's family that they'd probably disagree too.
Yeah, the that Twitter post or whatever, where the weatherman guy was using his like we have satellites everywhere that can show you what the weather looks like, and immediately on like that day, whatever it was the 19th or something.
Sunday. It was Sunday.
Yeah. So Sunday was the 19th, and he was trying to look what the weather looked like that day, and it literally goes from the 19th to the 21st. Like
That's hilarious.
The whole day is just gone for the 20th or 19th or whatever. Yeah. Or it goes from the 18th to the 20th. Sorry, I messed that up.
We're living in some crazy times, and we're all getting to see it live on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And the weatherman said, "Whoops!" And then the producer of the show was like, "Let's go to a story about a missing cat."
Right.
Yeah.
Watch this
Sorry.
volunteer fire department get this cat out of the tree.
Yeah.
Right. Call somebody.
They go back to old footage of the OJ chase. You're like, "Oh, somebody's in a Bronx. What's going on?"
Oh man, I saw a picture of two cyber trucks the other day that had like just one of them rammed the other one in the rear end, and there was a comment on it. It just looked like that one of them was fucking the other one, and somebody commented and said, "This is how we get more cyber trucks."
That's how you make rectangles.
Yeah, I was gonna say the lines are so wild. It was hard to figure out where one stopped and the other began.
Like the human centipede.
I've never watched that movie. I've been so.
Yeah, you don't need to.
That movie's fucked, and so is the movie Tusk. You ever seen Tusk?
I turned it off.
Dude.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Wow, dude. I watched it. I couldn't look away.
Like I said, I've probably said it before, but I can't handle gore or like people just getting tortured and stuff like that anymore.
Like Hostel?
Yeah. Hostel, I think is that's the one that, because I think that was Tusk, and I turned it off and I was like, man, why am I such a wuss about this now? So like that same day I was like, all right, I'm gonna turn on Hostel, and I turned it off. Like
like the Green Inferno.
I've seen it. I don't remember it though.
So you're not watching a whole lot of Eli Roth films then, are you?
Well, I like Thanksgiving. Like that's different though.
That's Eli Roth. And I didn't think we just watched that again last night.
Yeah. I liked Eli. Like what's is it Ethan Hawke or Eli Roth that did the phone one? Black Phone?
Eli Roth. Well,
Okay.
Ethan Hawke's the actor.
Okay, yeah. Maybe that's why I was getting those mixed up. But yeah, Black Phone or something black.
Yeah, that was a crazy movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was a lot better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I liked it.
Y'all watch anything else good right now? Anything else good? We just said Tires was coming out tomorrow.
I don't know what happened to my algorithm. You ever seen the At Whatever podcast?
Uh-uh.
It's like this dude Brian something has on like OnlyFans and sex workers, and then he brings on another guest. Like the girls are always kind of the same. It's like the same set of gals usually, and then you'll have people on like Candace Owens will come on and talk to them. Charlie Kirk went on and talked to him, stuff like that. And I just thought it's an interesting watch, especially Candace Owens versus him. Not versus, I mean they're debating stuff like obviously the sex workers and whatnot are really progressive, so they're like they debate abortion quite a bit. They debate, if
It's a tax
Prostitution
write-off.
being legal.
yeah, they debate, if you can be a sex worker and have a family and stuff. Like obviously Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk both are big Christians, so they're like there's
How
just
do you like? I guess like my argument with that is like, do you ever really have a true foundation of like love and trust if like your partner is like in like that industry? Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. You'd have to be
Because like
really,
I know
really
like
cool
I'm
with.
like not like a super jealous person, but like if like Christy was like a porn star, like we wouldn't be together. Like, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
couldn't live like that.
No, I wouldn't. There's no way. There's no way.
You just got to be wired different, you know?
Seems like a life full of darkness.
That's what I'm saying. Like it would definitely get me back into drinking and whatever the fuck I, don't need to be doing, I think.
Yeah. Just kind of a low vibrational like thing to surround yourself with,
Wasn't the guy from Hot Ones? Wasn't he dating a porn star?
Yeah,
They had to break
his
up.
fiance was a porn star and he got like people started shaming him and he got rid of her.
I don't have any problem with people doing it. I don't care. It's just
It ain't for me.
it just wouldn't be my preference to date somebody that does something like that. I
You
could
get the
probably
hog rammed off at her.
For
I could
Josh,
maybe get
for
over
Josh.
OnlyFans, especially if they're making a shit ton of money with it, but not like a stripper or like a actual sex worker that goes and does stuff.
For Josh to have the confidence to think that someone that did porn would actually be interested in him is baffling to me.
Dude, my confidence even amazes me sometimes. I wouldn't be here now if I didn't have the confidence I got. You know what I mean?
It's fair.
That's a fact. I would have gave up a long time ago.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. I had never seen it. I'd seen clips of that show before, and like there's a lot of gotcha moments, but they do have pretty good conversations on a
I
one
think you could
episode,
probably
one or
find a
two.
gotcha moment with anything.
What?
You could probably find a gotcha moment with about anything, though.
Oh yeah, yeah,
If you're really cherry picking, the people are going to pick and choose what they hate and really focus on that.
yeah.
I
I probably won't be watching many episodes of it, but I'd never seen it, so I gave it a go yesterday, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this was all right.
Heck yeah.
I came face to face with a rattlesnake a couple days ago. That was
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Oh man, I loved it so much. Adrenaline pumping.
I'll have to see if we can post that picture that you sent on our Facebook page so people can see how big that sucker was.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was a
It
big
was a
boy.
big rattler.
I can't believe you didn't touch it.
I'm shocked.
Man, I poked him with my stick for sure, and I moved him off the trail enough for us to walk by. But Melissa was like, like we were sitting there for like 30 seconds looking at it, and she said, "Listen, I know you want to play with that thing, but I cannot get you off this mountain." And I said, "Okay, yeah, you're right."
I bet you was one of them kids that had to constantly sit on your hands. Like, Nick, sit on your hands. Don't
I
touch
was
nothing.
told to do that. I forgot that unlocked a memory. I was told
Sit on
to
your
sit
hands, Nick.
a few times.
Sit on your hands.
Yeah, yeah. I was
That's funny.
a big dirt in the outfield guy and a butterfly kid.
Yeah.
Pop flies coming whizzing right by my head, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
You wasn't
that
catching
was
them, that's for sure.
that was for sure me and T-ball.
Yeah. That was me till Babe Ruth.
I was out there in the outfield getting yelled at by my dad. They're smoking cigarettes in the right field, telling him to get the fuck up.
Look alive, hands on your knees, hands
Look
on
alive.
your knees, hands on your knees.
Then you
Chucky
get
White
hit.
Chucky White has a good story. He always tells about me. I was in the outfield heckling our own pitcher because he wasn't pitching worth a shit. And so they called me in, Nick! And I'd always wanted to pitch, but they never let me. And I was like, me? So I ran out. Of course, I pitched like 2 shitty innings. And Chuck came out to have a coach conference with me on the mound. He was about to pull me, and he walked up and he said, Nick, now I love you. And I said, I love you too, coach.
He said, you can't do nothing with that.
He said, I just looked at him, turned around, walked back to the dugout, let him finish the game. He said, what do you want me to do? Pull that kid out? I love it.
I was pitching a high school game one time, and we were up, and I gave up like 2 runs, and I walked the bases loaded. It was a high pressure situation, and the coach come out. He goes, Harrington, I got some great news. I said, really? I said, what's that? He goes, I'm pulling your ass out. Go there and sit on the fucking bench. And I was like 15 years old. I was like, all right.
Damn.
And then he said, go sit on the far end. Go sit on the far end of the bench.
Don't talk to nobody.
Yeah, don't
Sit on
talk to
your
anybody.
hands.
I got called a clown so many times in that dugout.
Harrington, I've got good news. I've convinced your parents to put you up for adoption.
Right, you piece of shit.
We're never going to see you again.
Man, you're out of here.
Congratulations. We've talked him into having an abortion this late.
This late.
Late term.
Late term. 15-year-old.
We were playing softball one time, and Ty missed a pop fly in the outfield, and this was a grown men's softball league, and I said, "No wonder your dad's disappointed in you." And it brought the game to a halt.
I'm sure. I remember we were playing softball one time with him, and he had like his appendix burst like right in the middle of the game, and he had to go have like surgery. And he was back like 3 days later playing softball again.
Oh, I'm actually doing something Friday with some of my buddies down here. I don't know where they found this idea, but it's called the 999 challenge.
Oh.
We're going to a Sounds game. We're all wearing like button down glizzy Hawaiian shirts.
9 hot dogs.
Yeah, 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, 9 innings.
Y'all gonna feel like shit when you leave there. You're gonna be shitting like a motherfucker. Cholesterol and blood pressure are gonna be through the roof.
Yeah, I'm sure that we'll probably bow out at some point and be like, all right, we're too old to be doing this stupid shit.
Yeah, like you'll be at the 7th inning stretch, like, whoa, unbuttoning your shirt all the way. Just letting your belly hang out.
I know, I already asked them. I was like, do we have to eat the bread? They were like, yes.
Yeah, that will make it extra hefty.
Yeah.
I used to do a beer per hole playing golf.
I've done that.
I've done that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little
It's not
different.
hard.
It's
really not that hard.
It's not. Especially if
you
it's
can
hot
stretch
outside.
Yeah, and you can stretch out 18 holes for like 5 hours if you want to.
Yeah.
Play through.
Come on. I'll crack another 1 or 2 on this hole.
I do miss drinking beer on the golf course, I will say.
Yeah.
Me and Melissa went thrift shopping yesterday when we went to Goodwill. I was looking for some shelves or some cubbies or something for the kids' room, and I found 2 hiking packs that are Team Adventure Marlboro.
Oh, that's cool.
So they've got the Team Adventure Marlboro patches on them from the 90s.
Oh, that's
and paid $6 a piece for them. But dude, I was so hyped when I found those. I love anything. Cool, I love anything vintage Marlboro jackets. I saw a race car on Marketplace the other day that was. It'd been sitting in a field for a long time, but it was like a rice burner with the wheels cocked out like that, and it just had the big Marlboro logo on the side of it. Man, I about emptied the bank account on that one, baby.
I got an old Marlboro cookbook that's pretty cool. I'll have to show you. It's from the 90s. It's like different recipes, like people like I guess like sent in.
Just a cool. FYI, boys, it is starting to really pick up here, and my lights have already flickered once or twice. So,
okay.
Just want to let you know, in case I duck out or something and I'm gone.
We're at about 30 minutes, so I mean we got a pretty good little. If something does happen,
yeah. Well, I actually got something that I started researching a couple weeks ago, and I didn't really think that it was going to be anything to it. Like I just thought it would be funny, to be honest. And it went a lot deeper than I thought it was going to. But do you guys remember government cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever have government cheese?
Oh yeah, my grandma's house.
Okay, I never had it. I didn't know what it was. It's just
American yellow processed cheese.
Yeah.
You know what? I hate to step on your toes here, Wes, if you've covered this, but a lot of like large pizza chains use government cheese for their pizza and their cheese pizzas
because it melts good.
Yeah,
and it's cheap as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's delicious.
So like the main reason, so we've got like millions of pounds of cheese. This kind of started in like the 1948 or so. There was a little bit of a
19.
yeah, there was a little bit of a crisis with dairy products. Like we didn't have enough, or they were making too much. And so it was causing the market to just like plummet in price because we were making too much. So the government decided to step in and was like, we'll buy a little bit of the excess to kind of keep the market stable. Um, because obviously milk being a like it's a first level producer, so if something gets funky with it, then like it screws up transportation, it screws up grocery stores, it's just like a domino effect.
Butter, all that
Yeah,
shit's made
butter,
from it.
cheese, etc.
Good
Yeah.
point, Josh.
Sour cream.
Yeah.
Good point, Josh.
So it's a big,
You're welcome.
big domino effect if something happens with dairy, milk.
That's big milk for you.
Yeah, that's big milk for you. So they ended up buying all this
Grande leche.
So they ended up buying all this excess. The CCC is the company or the arm of the law or whatever you want to call it, and they're the Commodity Credit Corporation. They're the ones who said, "Hey, it's okay for the government to step in and buy this excess milk right now." This went like pretty well. This like we were able to, keep all the small farms in business, yada yada yada, for about 25 years, made it to the 70s. At that point, we actually had an energy crisis where we couldn't get oil or gas, and it was ruining like being able to get dairy, obviously, because you got to have
Right.
gas, get things back and forth from the farms, got to have gas to run the farms, etc. So because of this, it was such a big impact that this energy crisis had. Believe it was Jimmy Carter gave the dairy industry $2 billion to just buy dairy from them so that they were still making it. That way they'd still be making money.
Right.
So this led to the government having uh, too much milk. They had too much milk, and obviously milk goes bad. So the government was like, okay, well, we can turn all this milk into cheese, dehydrated milk. There was a third thing that I don't remember what the other, but they were like, we're going to make it cheese because you can like cheese in wheels will last forever, or like
Yeah, for a long time.
long time. So this led to like they had 500 million pounds of cheese wheels
Oh, that
just
sounds so good.
spread out all across the country. They would find warehouses that were shut down. They'd buy that warehouse, throw cheese in it. One of the biggest ones, I don't remember where it was. I forgot to write it down, but it was just a limestone cave somewhere like Idaho or Iowa or something like
Probably
that.
Missouri.
Maybe. But it was a limestone cave and it had majority of the cheese in it. Like there was hundreds of millions of pounds of cheese in there.
Like a little refrigerator, like a little natural refrigerator.
Yeah, yeah. So keeps it at what 35 or 36 or something.
Yeah, cold.
Yeah. So at some point it was like 1981. Um so through all this they still bought they kept buying dairy, like even though they still had all this like millions of pounds of it just sitting around. There was a whistleblower, don't remember his name, came out in 1981 and he was like, look at this moldy block of cheese that the government just keeps buying dairy and making it into cheese. For like what reason? We have so much of this shit. So Ronald Reagan is the guy. I've talked about him a lot. Apparently he did a lot of dumb shit whenever he was in office, but um
Tell some people
he
that.
decided to incorporate the cheese into the welfare program, which that's why it's called government cheese.
5-pound blocks of cheese a month.
Yeah. Yeah. And for some reason they still didn't stop buying cheese until 2014.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like they just kept buying fucking cheese. It's because the reason behind that is because they had pretty much made themselves a whale in the industry, like a Microsoft of the baby. I got this dog with me right now. Hey, relax. What are you doing, dog?
Oh, he's scared of the storm?
Yeah, she's fucking terrified.
Damn.
Maybe lay down.
My cat ain't woke up all day. It's damn thundering and shit. She
Relax,
just stretches
relax.
out.
So yeah, we kept buying cheese. We have all this. So if we would have stopped, then we would have crashed the market. So that's why we kept going till 2014. And
So we
truthfully,
got a
kind
big
of
cheese surplus, you're saying?
what's that?
So we got a huge cheese surplus?
Well, almost. In 1983, that's whenever the dairy promotion tax came out, and that just made it to where if you were producing dairy, you had to pay a tax, like it was like 15 cents for every 100 pounds or something like that, to try to make the dairy producers relax on making it. You know, they were
Right.
like, "Hey, calm down. Like we're going to tax
That
you
makes
now."
sense that you say that because whenever I was younger, I remember like the fourth or fifth grade, one of my buddies, they had dairy cows and the government paid them to like slaughter all their cows and stop making milk. Like, hey, we're going to pay you this amount of money, stop making milk for 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can start back.
Yeah. And then so along with this, while that was going on, the government actually created a company called DMI, which was just Dairy Management Incorporated. It's well, you have to do some digging, umbrella corporations, yada yada, all the way through. It's owned and ran by the USDA, which is government arm or whatever. So the
They
government
also
pretty
do
much ran
loans for
this
houses and
DMI
land.
company, and was buying all the excess dairy, still. They're the ones that stopped in 2014, I believe, but that's what came out with. They're the ones who, now that they had this like shell company, they were able to spend money on advertising, spend money on distribution, stuff like that. So that's why uh, individual milk cartons showed up in schools in the early 80s to the 90s. And then we even had milk in pouches for whatever reason. That was so
We did
fucking
this for a
weird.
while.
Man, I loved those milking pouches.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
used to wear them every once in a while. I'd bust, the shit go everywhere.
Then but then we had the Got Milk campaign, and how weird was it that the Got Milk, it wasn't buying any specific milk, it was just Got Milk.
I always
All
wondered why
milk.
they pushed that so much. Because remember, dude, like fucking Got Milk commercials just went away.
Yeah.
Like they
And
just
then
stopped. That's when I first had a crush on Anne Hathaway.
so
You
really
saw
at the
that
end of the
white
day,
milky mustache.
and now that they had this shell corporation DMI, they were able to lobby people. So they got all of these celebrities to do Got Milk, but on top of that, and this is kind of going with what Nick said, all of the milk ended up showing up in schools everywhere, yada yada yada. But they
Free
also
milk.
did a lot of lobbying to all the fast food companies to make all of their stuff cheesy. So like Taco Bell cheesy gordita crunch. The funniest one that I thought was the government really did pitch the idea to like Pizza Hut or Domino's for stuffed crust pizza.
Oh, okay.
Like stuffed crust pizza is a government
Yeah,
psyop, pretty much.
I saw that.
It's
So
delicious.
yeah, so everything, all of this
Point
stuff
blank.
was because the government bought too much dairy 60 years ago, and now they made our like economy like so attached to dairy that
Dairy.
they don't know. All they knew to do was be like, oh, just put it in schools and tell everybody it's good for you. That's pretty much like
Right.
the
Strong bones. Like I remember like, hey, you need to drink milk at least 8 ounces every morning. I remember like hearing shit like in my head, like
And
subconsciously almost.
so milk is good for you, but cheese is not. Like
I'm lactose intolerant now. So it's
What's
probably
that?
because of the milk that they pushed on me.
Of
Yeah, I
course
mean, they
you are.
pushed it hard during the 90s. I mean, hard. And I mean, you talk to any, especially our parents, probably, they're all like, milk's the best thing you can ever drink.
Oh, dude, my parent like dude, we used to drink milk with supper, like with
Yeah,
like
I never
spaghetti
got
and
that
shit.
far. I never went that far.
That's trailer park shit there, dog.
But yeah,
It's so crazy. It's so crazy that you brought this up because corporate just sent me this advertisement. New, kind of, from Uncle Sam's Cheese Company, vintage government cheese. Are you a connoisseur of fine aged cheeses? Do you appreciate a robust flavor profile that only a bit of mold can provide? Look no further. Introducing vintage government cheese, the cheese with history, character, and just a little bit of fuzz. Why choose vintage government cheese? It's authentically aged. We've let time do its thing, and now our government cheese is the perfect mix of nostalgia and penciling. Mold with moxie. This isn't just any mold. It's the kind that adds a dash of mystery and a sprinkle of, is it still good? To every bite. Boldly old. Forget those fancy French cheeses. Our cheese has been proudly aged in government warehouses collecting stories and spores.
And
Perfect for adventurous palates. Tired of boring fresh cheese? Dive into the exciting world of vintage government cheese, where every slice is an adventure. Enjoy it on a burger. Add a slice of intrigue to your barbecue. On a pizza, because nothing says gourmet like a hint of aged authenticity. With wine, pair it with a robust red, or just something strong enough to mask the taste. I'll tell you what, here's a little testimonial from Jack Sanchez. I wasn't sure if it was the cheese or my socks, but either way, it was an unforgettable experience. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Call 1-800-OLD-CHEESE and get your slice of history today. Remember, it's not just cheese, it's an adventure in every bite. Disclaimer. Consumption of vintage government cheese may result in a strong desire to eat fresher food. Always check for visible signs of mold and consult a doctor if you experience any unusual side effects. Not recommended for children, pets, or anyone with a functional sense of smell.
Nice. I will say this: American cheese does melt the best on a hamburger.
So I will say, in closing, I do need to get off of here.
That's fine.
Quick. But him talking about he said something that reminded me of this. But so we do still have cheese in caves, but it's no longer a surplus because we still probably have 1 billion or so pounds, but the country consumes 13.5 billion pounds of cheese a year.
We love our cheese, baby.
Yeah, we do.
All because of all them campaigns and baby. Okay, I got to get off here, boys. All right.
Nick, what's it been, buddy?
It's been
love ya.
fine by me.
See y'all.
See ya.
West Coast, yes, 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 one